Back at you with another one. Now, this one right here is a legendary figure in the Godzilla figure collecting world, okay? And it's one that I kind of covered already in when I did my a Playmates haul videos. But at that time, it was in a different box. It was in the Godzilla X Kong box. This is the MonsterVerse line. So it's re-released with a new box. And it's Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire, Titan Evolution Godzilla. Or, affectionately known to me and everybody else as Rubber Goji. So, you can't ever disrespect Rubber Goji. That's rule number one. You know what I mean? Like, Rubber Goji commands a certain level of respect in the collecting industry. All right? So, you know, if I see anybody talking trash about Rubber Goji, I'm unsubscribing. That's about mine. So, but yeah, Rubber Goji, peel skin to reveal Godzilla evolved. So I wanted to get a second Rubber Goji because the first one I just have it still in the rubber. You know, this one I want to, take the opportunity to pose the Godzilla Evolved that's inside. And these MonsterVerse boxes are very nice with the blue and the purple. You have peel skin to reveal Godzilla Evolved Titan Evolution Godzilla. Picture of the figure that's on the inside of it. Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire. And then on the back, you're going to get two figures in one. Peel skin to reveal Godzilla Evolved. And it shows you how it works. It has a picture of Rubber Goji and Godzilla Evolved inside. We're going to get the same write-up we always do on Godzilla X Kong. And yeah. So this is a cool gimmick, a strange gimmick. Weird as hell, but cool. You know what I mean? And that's why Rubber Goji lives on. So we're going to get him out of the box and dig into this figure. Let's go. Let's Goji. Rubber Goji is back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Now, let me say, there's instructional videos out there on how to properly use Rubber Goji. You know what I mean? So, for whatever that means, if you get Rubber Goji and you're a little confused, you could watch a video. So, and you might want to do that so you don't ruin the figure. You know what I mean? Because it is a little difficult getting them back in there once you've gotten them out. So it's a bit of a process. So maybe everybody should watch those. But anyway, Rubber Goji. I love the stylized approach to this. Like, this is a cool gimmick. Having, as it says, two figures in one here. And the outer rubber layer is quite nice, surprisingly. Like, it's actually, like, really chock full of detail all along the tail. Godzilla's skin, down to the legs and toenails. The head design, which you can see the gills right there too. The eyes are a nice ice blue. And you've got detail on the inside of the mouth too right there. You can see the tongue. But the face kind of reminds me of the Jada Toys RC Godzilla. It's almost in that, like, big, bulky boy style. You know what I mean? Especially if we look here. This is like the window to his chest right here, where you could look in. You're going to have to tuck that in quite a bit, so just note that. And here you see, like, one of the highlights of the outside rubber layer is the beautiful way these dorsal plates are painted. And it's basically the same kind of North Carolina blue that we see on the Godzilla with Heat Ray from GXK, which I'll bring out and compare with this later on, so that you see how close that blue paint is to the Heat Ray Godzilla. But so, you know, yeah, we've got like the mouth is just like the inside of the mouth is just a tongue painted on the bottom, but that's fine. You know what I mean? We're not going to knock it for that. And then, you know, the eyes are really well done. Bottom line, you could see that. The eyes look really good. And the figure is nice. It's nice and detailed. It would be nice if this North Carolina blue paint went all the way down to the tip of the tail there. I think that would really bring the outside layer of this figure to life. You know, but we love Rubber Goji over here. That's the bottom line, you know. So, and, you know, Rubber Goji's on the taller side, and it's like, see, when I first saw Rubber Goji, I thought that the Godzilla involved inside was going to be taller or bigger than the 6 inches, but it's actually smaller. So, and I'll show you that later on also, how it scales with the other 6-inch Godzilla, Godzilla Evolved. But yeah, that looks really nice, and you know, you could move it a little bit. You could kind of move the arms in and out with the rubber suit on, like you know, unlike the regular 6-inch where the arms just go up and down. These are on a ball joint, I believe, and you could spread them out, which is cool. It's like the only like figure in around the 6-inch scale that does that for Godzilla. But yeah, I think this looks super nice. All right, let's pose him for a second. See, yeah, you could kind of move the legs a little bit, and you could like stretch the arms out, so like Godzilla's kind of charging and lurching at you right there. So that's cool that you could do a little bit of posing with the outside layer, you know what I mean? Like the articulation underneath works somewhat with the rubber on top of it. So that's pretty cool. You could have him kind of like creeping and hunched over like that, which is cool. So you get a crunch at the torso, the arms and legs move slightly, so you get some posability with the outside layer. And I actually really love that. That's such a bonus. You know what I mean? So that kind of makes it like 3 figures in one at the end of the day. But that's really dope. And you could basically get his arms all the way up like that, which is so cool. You're going to constantly be tucking this thing in here. That little window to the figure. But I think it's really awesome that you could actually pose this thing like this. That's very cool that you could give the outside rubber figure a couple of cool poses. Not many, you know what I mean? Because there are some restrictions, like you can move the legs and arms a little bit, you know? But that's really dope. All right, let's get Godzilla Evolved out and see what he looks like. How disturbing is that, people? It looks like a king cobra just shed its skin and Godzilla's underneath. Awesome, but that's how we go. We go head first, then arms, and then the rest of them. So let's continue. Okay, so now, here's what they mean when they say 2 figures in one. Because Rubber Goji could stand on his own, you know, when you take Godzilla Evolved out. And that's cool. You just got to get that center plate tucked in properly. But you could absolutely just pose Rubber Goji on his own on the shelf like that, and it still looks pretty damn cool. You know what I mean? So yeah, that is 2 figures in one. And that's very nice. But you could see here the size difference between the outer rubber layer of Rubber Goji and Godzilla Evolved that's inside. Which, by the way, is a pretty cool figure. You know what I mean? It's simple. I think the Dorsal plates are very nice. The translucent dorsal plates. And I think that the paint going down the tail all the way to the Thagomizer really goes well with the translucent dorsal plates. Probably better than any of the other 6 inches go with it, you know, except maybe for Real Feel Godzilla, which was just that awesome pink. But that really looks good. Of course, the Thagomizer is done a little differently here because it has to be, you know, it has to be more narrow to fit inside Rubber Goji's tail. And, you know, if you could see here, the eyes are fairly well done for a Playmates figure. That's decent right there. They look like they're like pretty like a yellow with a black dot, and it looks kind of nice. The teeth seem to be fairly well done here. Yeah. And the best part about this figure, and I don't know why they didn't do it like all of the rest of the 6 inches, is these arms can go out. They can move out and around. And that's cool. That's what we need. We just need that type of arm articulation and knee articulation, and we'd be really rocking and rolling with these Playmates. But this is a cool figure. And yeah, this is worth it. This is a $15 one. Okay, it's not $9.99 or $10 like the rest of them, like the 6 inches. You're gonna pay $15 for this, like the Battle Roars, but it's worth it, man. It's worth it. Matter of fact, I'm not even sure if I paid $15 or if I paid $12. It's one or the other. It's between $12 to $15, I think. Either way, 100% worth it for the gimmick alone. All right, so it is, at this point in the video, I give you Shinra Jira with Rubber Goji breakdancing to 6-7 Mob Street Swarm. Let's go. Intermission. What a performance. I'm looking forward to Goji 2 Electric Boogaloo coming soon. Anyway, let's go right into a beautiful tail off the ground pose. Look at that. That looks absolutely amazing. That looks like when Godzilla was charging at Kong in Egypt. And I just absolutely love that you could spread these arms wide like this. This is a unique feature to this specific Godzilla Evolved, and I really, really like it. This Godzilla Evolved performs pretty well, and it looks pretty good. So, for the ones of this particular color, it's really nice, you know. And, you know, while it's, like, simple in nature, it still has very good detail, especially on the head and neck area. I think they really nailed it. And as you can see here, the teeth are not bad for a Playmates figure. Top, bottom, and the tongue. The tongue is rather nice on this figure. So that's good. That you're getting more than you normally do as far as like eyes, teeth, and the inside of the mouth on this Godzilla Evolve figure, and that's quite nice. Of course, we have Rubber Goji in the background. Rubber Goji is just basically like Godzilla Evolve's bodyguard. You know what I mean? He's there in case anything pops off. But look at that. That's a very, very nice tail off the ground, lurching forward, ready to tackle Kong into the pyramid pose. Awesome. Okay, now you can definitely get a nice running pose here, which Playmates is usually good for, and it even gives you a little bit more with these arms, like being able to move out as well. And that's nice. You can put the tail all the way down too. You get good tail articulation here. Like at least it looks good, and it goes up and down and around. And all of that leads to a nice running pose. Okay, so I love how with this figure you could stretch these arms out all the way and basically recreate that supercharged pose in the final battle in the movie. You could stretch his arms out that wide, and this is Godzilla Evolved, right? So that's when he did it, and I think that's, this is really a nice touch to add this arm articulation to Godzilla and to give us some more things that we can do with it and more poses. I like that. Kudos to Playmates for that. The Legends of Rubber Goji grows. Okay, so now I just want to show you that you could get Godzilla Evolved with a little balancing here into a very, very nice foot stomping pose. And I want to just take the opportunity to show you the paint on his chest, on the inside of the arms right there, which is very, very nice. It's a nice shade of paint. It's a brushing on the chest that just looks really good. This is a quality Godzilla Evolved figure. It might be one of the best ones, honestly, from Playmates. You know what I mean? As far as this specific look to it, this might be the one that kind of looks the cleanest and functions the best. Very, very nice. Now, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the arm articulation, if you were to go ahead and put this on a stand, the arm articulation and the tail articulation allows for a pretty damn good swimming pose. How crazy is that? I think that's the first time I ever said that for a Playmates figure. That's amazing. You want to put that on a nice stand? You could have Godzilla swimming on a Playmates figure. Absolutely incredible. And you're getting a really nice tail off the ground pose because of the arm articulation. This is great. Playmates, make Godzilla's arms like this all the time. I don't get it. They look so awesome. They're awesome like this. I don't get it. Do that. Add an elbow. Add a bend at the elbow. Add a bend at the knee, and we're cooking. That looks pretty damn good. It's a pretty damn good crawling on all fours pose. Awesome, man. Okay, and here's another different type of tail off the ground pose with his arms kind of in and kind of makes it look like he's running with his tail off the ground. That's an excellent pose right there. That's great. So you see, you could do a few things with this. Really, really nice. And I'll tell you what, these translucent pink dorsal plates and the way the rest of it is painted look so good. They really make the figure pop. These might be for this type of figure one of the nicer colors on the pink translucent dorsal plates. It looks really good. Okay, so speaking of the dorsal plates, this is probably a good time to really take a closer look at both of them here from behind. This is just beautiful North Carolina blue and black. It looks amazing. And this is a really, really nice shade of translucent pink. And then a darker pink or almost red. Yeah, it's more like a fluorescent pink. It just goes nice with that. The shine off that goes into that paint, and that looks really, really good. Just to give you a closer look at how they look from the back. Okay, now I just want to give you a little bit of a closer look at these teeth and tongue. Look at that tongue, man. That's really nice for a Playmates figure. You can see the crease in the middle of it. Yeah, this thing, and look, there you see the eye too, how well painted it is. I really like the face on this. It's done very, very well. And we could just recreate that scene, in that pose, that charging tail off the ground pose where Godzilla's charging at Kong. And that looks really nice. Kong's like, no, I don't want no parts. Awesome, man. Okay, so now I want to compare it to the other 6-inch Godzilla Evolves from Playmates. So this is the first one, the original one that came out. And if you could see here, you see the scaling? This one is taller, okay? Also, I should point out, this doesn't have the elbow spikes. You know, naturally, because it would tear through the rubber. You know what I mean? So you can't really have that, especially since Playmates does them really like protruding out like that. But you can see the difference in the yogurty, light pink tail, you know, as compared to the red one here. It's closer to the the red color of the Battle Roar figures. But you can see he's shorter than both the original Godzilla Evolved as well as the Godzilla and Shimo Battle Pack Godzilla Evolved. These two guys are the same size, and this one scales a little smaller. And the real feel is close to the size of this, as you can see right here. Maybe real feel might be the smallest one, but they're about close to the same size. So it's just a little bit shorter than the two original 6 inches. Not by much, though. But yeah, that's, you know, they all look drastically different, too, by the way. You know what I mean? This has, like, basically pink and black eyes. This, you know, has a nice, a different shade of pink. More of the correct shade. That one has an orange and black, and this one here under in Rubber Goji has almost like a yellow. So all different color eyes there, which is kind of strange, kind of cool. You know, that I don't know if it's pink, but it looks more orange and pink on the Battle Pack version. And then, of course, Real Feel Godzilla has absolutely the most beautiful dorsal plates, and I love the color of the pink that continues down. Yeah, I think Real Feel Godzilla is probably the most accurate to how he looked in the movie. You know what I mean? So you got to have Real Feel, in my opinion. It's the best one. Maybe not as far as like posability, but definitely looks, you know. And I wish that they would just do the arms like this on all of the Godzilla figures. But I'm happy to have them all, as always. But you could see, you know, the point of bringing them all out was to show you how that scale's smaller. Okay, so now what I basically wanted to do here was show you the comparison between Rubber Goji, especially the dorsal plates, and Heat Ray Godzilla, which has the same North Carolina blue on the dorsal plates as this does. And that's really very nice. I love these dorsal plates. I think this is right here. Heat Ray Godzilla is one of the best Playmates figures ever, and one of the top figures, you know, of recent Godzilla figures. I'll have to do that. I got to do a top 10 like recent release list. You know what I mean? And then drop those every so often. But yeah, like, you know, the dorsal plates make both of these figures shine. And that's awesome. All right. Rubber Goji for the win. Get this figure for the fun of it, people. You know what I'm saying? Like, have fun with this. It's kooky, it's weird, but it's also a good gimmick, a cool gimmick, and it's done fairly well. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's even down to the rubber, you know, the detail on the rubber, the paint job on the rubber is nice. And then the articulation on the Godzilla Evolved and the paint job is cool and on point. you know, this is what we do this for, so that we can have fun with it. And this is one of the most fun recent release figures, Godzilla figures. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, if you like what you see, go out there and get you some rubber Goji. Subscribe to the channel, like the goddamn video. Peace, I'll be back.